Okay, a great place to start. Well, it's the start of this video. So, the purpose of this video is to help you understand PsyOps better. So, why is that important? Why understand PsyOps? Well, it helps you to be able to not be taken advantage of, right? As when you can see them coming, you can avoid them, but you got to know what to look for. So that's what I'm going to help you with in this video. And this video may be a little different. I'm going to use a lot of screenshots because who am I? I mean, I'm the anonymous OG. I don't have an extensive background in PsyOps. I mean, I've been suckered into a few, right? And I did avoid the pandemic PsyOp. Thank you very much. But I'm not really the expert. So I'm going to lean in this video more so on screenshots from experts than I am my own personal opinion, because I don't have the background to be able to tell you anything with any credibility about it. All right, so a couple of the reasons why understanding PsyOps is important: you can spot information if you know what to look for. You can protect your community. You can avoid being manipulated. That's a big one. You don't want to be manipulated, do you? I know I don't. And you can will better be able to navigate through the modern threat landscape. Sounds like all pretty good reasons to me. So I hope you listen. Do not believe me? I'm cool with that. But everything that I know, 98% of what I know about PsyOps, all came from one guy, a guy named Chase Hughes. He is the GOAT of all PsyOps. If you want to know how to become an expert in spotting PsyOps, go find Chase on the YouTube and watch his videos and learn from him. That's who I've learned from. Okay, so in PsyOps, they have narratives, things that they throw out there to try to get things started and to try to convince you of, right? First, let's see the first narratives in the Bitcoin PsyOp that didn't end up working out, right? So the white paper is the first thing. Started out, it's going to be a peer-to-peer payment system, right? You got it? Right there in Satoshi's white paper. I'm not making this stuff up. This is what it was supposed to be. So, how's it going? Well, big fat fail. After 17 years, and I know this is maybe a little bit hard for you to see, but I'm highlighting it, and you can stop the video and get a magnifying glass out and take a look. Make sure you can verify that what I'm saying is there. It basically says that the user frequency since the Bitcoin PsyOp started as a peer-to-peer payment system, only 1 to 2% after 17 years are actually using it to buy anything. So I don't know about you, but I would consider after 17 years, 1 to 2% are using it. I don't know. Here in North Carolina, that's a big fat fail. So in the Bitcoin PsyOp, when the first narrative failed, they just make up another one. All right. So the narrative changed from a peer-to-peer payment network, since it failed, to a store of value. Well, problem, Houston. A speculative asset that goes from 126,000 to 60,000 is not a store of value you make. Duh. The survey says a classic store of value requires long-term stability, durability, and broad market acceptance to protect against economic downturns and inflation. Well, that didn't happen. So, another big fat fail in the Bitcoin PsyOp. Okay, enough about the big fat fails in the Bitcoin PsyOp. Let's get down to the purpose of this video, something that will really help you, I hope, and that is helping you understand PsyOps better so you can look at stuff and decide if people are trying to pull the wool over your eyes or not. Okay? All right, let's get to it. PsyOps can be understood by the 4 levers they use according to Chase Hughes. Trust but verify. You go watch his stuff. I'm not making this up. I'm repeating what I learned from him. All right. They are 1, focus, 2, authority, 3, tribe, 4, emotion. This is a video about how the Bitcoin PsyOp has used them. And I need to throw another huge shout out to the GOAT, teacher of PsyOps, Chase Hughes. Anything I know about PsyOps, I learned from him. Highly recommend learning from him. And you'll find his videos on YouTube. Really, really smart guy. All right, that's it. Okay, focus. PsyOps wield attention like a weapon, bombarding you with curated crises, vivid imagery, or looped messaging to lock your gaze on their chosen narrative. All right, so that's what they do. Focus. All right, this relentless and well-funded spotlight often deliberately distorts reality, inflating trivial issues to emergencies, all while burying inconvenient truths and greater context in the shadows. It's a calculated siege on your awareness designed to steer your priorities astray and drown out independent thought with the flood of artificial urgency. All right, focus as far as the Bitcoin PsyOp is concerned. To test this theory on Bitcoin, all right, then read the rest. They curate crises, inflated emergencies, burying content, right? They do all kinds of different things, all right? So instead of its original goal as a peer-to-peer cash system, media spotlights now predominantly frame it as digital gold or a speculative investment, or, as we covered before, a store of value, frequently distracting the public from its utility as a censorship-proof resistant tool, which it is anyway, because nobody's using it. There is no utility. 1 to 2% use, remember? Okay, the second thing they do is they use authority. PsyOps often hijack trust by parading authority figures, experts, influencers, or officials as infallible mouthpieces for their agendas, even when they stray far from their lane. These voices lean or leverage their clout to peddle bold yet shaky claims, grifts, or flip-flop stances, counting on their perceived status or authority to silence skepticism. It's a slick con that turns admiration into a backdoor for manipulation, deceit, rigging the game so you defer instead of dissect. Has the Bitcoin PsyOp deployed authority in its attempt to persuade people? Answer is yes. This exact authority PsyOp has happened repeatedly within the broader marketing, promotion, and public culture of Bitcoin, according to Harvard. While Bitcoin's base layer code remains a neutral tool, human beings ranging from tech billionaires to Wall Street legacy executives have lied through their fucking have frequently hijacked the public's trust, parading themselves as infallible gurus to peddle shaky claims or execute massive flip-flops. Who comes to mind? Sailing Sailor? How about Pizza Box Seller Pompliano or Max Nutty Kaiser Roll? The list goes on and on and on. Let's dig a little deeper into how the authority was used. 1, the institutional pivot and Wall Street expert gatekeepers. For over a decade, major financial institutions blasted Bitcoin. Remember Jamie Dimon? It's horrible. Remember, what's his name? Larry Fink. It's terrible. It's horrible. No, you don't want to have anything to do with it. Then all of a sudden they started these ETFs and they flip-flop. The hijack trust legacy executives are now being paraded by mainstream outlets like CNBC and Forbes as the definitive experts on digital assets. Well, a couple of years ago, they weren't that. They all hated it. And Jamie Dimon still doesn't like it much. But they're doing it. They're adopting it, right? So again, it's all part of the media throwing out these authority figures to you to try and persuade you that what they've got is something that it isn't. The authority play in the Bitcoin PsyOp continues. Second, the tech billionaire flip-flop, the Elon Musk narrative. In 2021, Elon Musk single-handedly steered public priorities and retail capital by utilizing his massive clout. He positioned Tesla as an infallible mouthpiece for the new tech era by adding Bitcoin to Tesla's balance sheet and accepting it for payment of vehicles. Well, that didn't last too long, did it? The big flip-flop. Months later, he abruptly halted Bitcoin payments, citing sudden environmental emergencies. The sudden shift triggered a massive market crash. See, if you do your own independent research, you don't have to be falling for this kind of crap, right? But as long as you do, they're going to keep doing it. And the hits just keep coming. 3, the Perma Bull. Profits and 6-figure predictions. Prominent crypto influencers, corporate executives, and analysts frequently use complex, scientific-looking financial models to issue bold, shaky predictions. It's godly math. It's decentralized. It's unbelievable. Everybody get one. Nobody has it, and everybody's going to get it. Don't miss out. The looped message. Figures like Sale and Sailor or various online quantitative analysts, that's a frickin' compliment, frequently broadcast that Bitcoin is mathematically guaranteed to hit anywhere from 100,000 to 13 million in short order. That's that godly math stuff of them that they use. The disconnect. When these highly publicized models fail during deep market drawdowns, the infallible mouthpieces often silence skepticism by shifting the goalpost. It's a peer-to-peer payment system. No. It's a store of value. What's next? What's the next narrative? Telling followers to stay poor if they question the time frame. This turns genuine admiration for the technology into a backdoor for retail manipulation, locking users into a cycle of permanent artificial urgency. Don't fall for that. Don't listen to these mouthpieces. The only reason they're saying what they're saying is to pitch their book. They bought this stuff before you did, right? A long time before you did. So they get a bunch of new people to put in a whole bunch of new money. They're going to profit from it. Not you, them. Wake up. And last but not least, there's this. 4, the celebrity laser eyes marketing. Oh, good grief. During peak speculative manias, marketing campaigns aggressively recruit professional athletes, Hollywood actors, and social media influencers to hawk crypto products. Tua. Remember that girl? How about Scotty? Yeah, remember when Sailor looked at him when he said he had met Satoshi? That was pretty funny. Okay, so straying from their lane, Super Bowl ads and viral tweets feature non-financial celebrities telling everyday citizens, that fortune favors the brave if they buy crypto immediately. The deceit. These campaigns deliberately exploit fans' admiration, counting on them to blindly follow their idol's clout. In reality, the insiders and celebrities are heavily compensated. You think? The retail public is left exposed to extreme volatility. Any of you people fall into any of these rug pulls? Yeah, I haven't. But this is all part of the way that PsyOps persuade people. It's all part of it. 3, emotion. Last but certainly not least, well, next to last, PsyOps aim to ignite your deepest emotions to keep you reactive rather than proactive. They leverage fear, fury, disgust, or fleeting hope to hotwire your brain, sidelining logic in favor of raw, visceral, primal, subconscious reactions. They target your instincts with doomsday warnings, fake promises of meaningful solutions, or tear-jerking stories, creating an emotional roller coaster that leaves you too rattled to reason or question the underlying intent. The master stroke of manipulation thrives on chaos and conviction, driving you where facts alone would never. Bitcoin PsyOp emotion. Bitcoin's most consistent emotional message is empowerment through personal sovereignty. At its core, the network serves as a mechanism for opting out of traditional financial systems, advocating for peace of mind, self-reliance, and retaining the value of your labor. The emotional landscape surrounding the asset is complex and often splits into a few distinct feelings. Bitcoin PsyOps use of emotion? Easy as 1, 2, 3. Right? Hope and liberation. For participants, Bitcoin represents a digital haven where value is defended by math, godly math, rather than subjective central authority. This sparks a deep sense of optimism and ethical rebellion against the system, inflation, and manipulation. It's often framed as an escape from the anxiety of unpredictable top-down decrees. And Bitcoin PsyOp emotion, number 2, radical accountability. The emotional backbone of holding Bitcoin is learning how to navigate extreme volatility without abandoning your core thesis. This consistently demands low time, preference, thinking, the emotional maturity to plan for the future rather than chasing immediate gratification. Don't trust, verify. A famous philosophy emphasizing that emotional panic can be conquered by taking direct responsibility of your own assets, dealing with the drops, the psychological practice of staying calm when markets crash, processing the fear and remaining rational. Yeah. And last but not least, the emotional lever used in the Bitcoin PsyOp, FOMO and regret. Because of its unique trajectory, the asset famously triggers the fear of missing out. Oh, you got to buy that Bitcoin. You're going to miss out. You got to get it now before it goes. Oh my God. The lingering regret for those who dismissed it in the early days. The psychologists observe that this can sometimes manifest as hostility or denial from outsiders, as it challenges traditional valuation of networks or frameworks. Yeah, it's nuts. All used as a psychological lever to persuade you to buy, because the only way that the Bitcoin network grows is if the next greater fool keeps buying. So they use these emotional levers to get people to act. And number 4, tribe. PsyOps prey on your hunger to belong, forging ironclad group identities that pit us against them with surgical precision. They yield loaded language and rallying cries to wield you to a faction, making loyalty a trap that blinds you to nuance, common ground, personal innovation, or truly revolutionary or evolutionary progression. The tribal alchemy exploits your social wiring, transforming what you knew as community into a weapon of fanaticism, division, and control, especially if I said tribes thrive off chaos rather than cohesion and universal growth. And Bitcoin PsyOp uses tribalism. And look, I got to be honest, I'm a fan of tribalism personally. I'm a North Carolina fan, right? We don't like Duke. We're tribal. All right, to a certain extent, that's okay. It's when it's taken to the extreme, that's when we get into trouble. We're all tribal. And Bitcoin tribalism, no bueno. No bueno. Often called Bitcoin maximalism, is the fierce loyalty to the Bitcoin network. It's characterized by the belief that Bitcoin is the ultimate and only necessary cryptocurrency, accompanied by the rejection of alternative blockchains and projects. It's Looney Tunes. You know, people who buy stocks, they don't go around saying Tesla, there is no second best. There is no other. Tesla only. And badmouth Amazon. And badmouth Apple. And badmouth Microsoft. It's crazy. You don't see that kind of Looney Tune stuff but the Bitcoin network has used that in this PsyOp, right, to be able to persuade people to have the type of conviction that they have. And again, it's a bridge too far, right? The dismissal of altcoins. Folks, people made a lot of money in altcoins, me included. The digital gold narrative. It's not... the rejection of upgrades. You can't change it. You can't change anything. Sovereign ideology. You're going to be sovereign. Well, I got news for you. The people who got in Bitcoin really early, a lot of those people made life-changing money. But I'm just trying to give you a little tip here. You buying that stuff right now, you buy in at $65,000, you're going to have yourself a real hard time making life-changing wealth where it is now. In order to make life-changing wealth, you got to catch something really low. I mean, real low. Like if you could have gotten Bitcoin at $500. But now, chances aren't too good. But they're not going to tell you that in the Bitcoin PsyOp. They're going to tell you it's going to go to $13 million. Just listen to Saylor. Yeah, well, we'll see how long he's around. Anyway, yeah, they use tribalism. I don't think it's in a good way, but you make your own decision. Bitcoin PsyOp, tribalism, conclusion. While this tribalism can cause intense online polarization, even frustrating figures in the broader financial and tech spaces, proponents argue that it unites the community under a strong, shared vision and protects the network from security vulnerabilities. In other words, folks, you're completely captured in the Bitcoin PsyOp. Well, in conclusion, the anonymous OG, I got no monetary sponsors. I got no affiliate offers. I got no private group for you to join. I got no book for you to buy. I got no conference for you to go to. I've just got my opinion and my desire to try and help other people if possible. And if I have a better understanding today of PsyOps, and I've been able to avoid some in my past that have benefited me, then being able to try to share that with other people and it might help them. And I usually don't do videos this long, so I have very little confidence that anybody, I mean, maybe one person has made it this long, maybe by accident. I don't know. And that's okay. I'm not making videos for attention. Just maybe it might help somebody if they got, curious and interested in the topic and made it this far. And if you're that one person, I hope you got something out of this. The Bitcoin PsyOp will keep going and keep doing what they can to bring new people to get swindled into it. And there are going to be other PsyOps after that. So maybe having the skill set to be able to evaluate these things from a distance. If you know what you're looking for, then maybe in the future you might be able to help yourself and to avoid some things that you may not if you're not aware. So anyway, that's it. For all the people that made it this far, I usually don't make videos this long, but this one ended up that way because I wanted to cover it if I could and maybe open some eyes. I hope so. Seinfeld was a show about nothing, and Bitcoin is a project about nothing. It's computer code, folks. And they take the computer code running and they make up the most preposterous stories about it to get people to put money into it. And that's all well and fine if you get in early. If you get in early at $1,000, maybe $500, that's a hell of a deal. But you get in now, the order of difficulty is working against you with no utility. I don't see how it's going to do much, but I could be wrong. Who knows? I was twice wrong in the 80s. So I try to avoid doing that any longer. And of course, that was a joke. Anyway, God bless you. I hope everything works out in your lives. And I hope this video helps you have a better understanding of what PsyOps are all about. And check out Chase Hughes. He's much smarter than me, and he can help you as well. All right, take care. Till next time, the Anonymous OG, good day.